Deep in a hidden valley, nestled among shimmering flowers and sparkling streams, lay the magical fairy kingdom. This was the home of Princess Lily, a fairy with wings like stained glass and a heart full of mischief and sunshine. Lily wasn't like other princesses. While they were busy arranging dewdrops on petals, Lily was trying to teach bumblebees to fly in formation or convincing fireflies to create dazzling light shows at night. Her laughter was the sweetest sound in the kingdom, and it often followed one of her playful pranks. She lived in a palace carved from a single giant crystal, with waterfalls for walls and gardens that bloomed with starlight. Every corner of her home was filled with wonder, but for a spirited princess like Lily, the world beyond the valley was a tempting mystery. One sunny afternoon, while chatting with a wise old owl, Lily first heard the stories. The owl, perched on a branch of an ancient silver birch, spoke in hushed tones about a place just beyond the enchanted forest, the Shadowspire Castle. For centuries, it had stood on a lonely hill, its dark towers piercing the clouds. "They say it's haunted, princess," the owl hooted softly. "Haunted by spooky, scary ghosts who moan and groan all night long." He fluffed his feathers, trying to look very serious. "No fairy has ever dared to go near it. They say the ghosts love to frighten anyone who trespasses." But as the owl described rattling chains and chilling whispers, Lily's eyes didn't fill with fear. They sparkled with excitement. A haunted castle with real ghosts? This sounded like the most thrilling adventure imaginable. A mischievous grin spread across her face. A spooky castle full of scary ghosts? That didn't sound scary at all. It sounded like fun. With a little wave goodbye to the worried owl, Lily took to the sky. Her wings beat silently as she soared over the treetops of the enchanted forest. Soon she saw it. Shadowspire Castle stood just as the owl had described, silhouetted against the setting sun. It looked gloomy, with dark stone walls and tall, pointed towers. But instead of feeling scared, Lily felt a flutter of anticipation. She flew silently through a tall, broken window and landed as softly as a dandelion seed on the dusty stone floor. The air inside was cold and still. Cobwebs hung like ghostly decorations, and shadows danced in the corners. "Hello?" She called out, her voice echoing through the vast, empty hall. "Any ghosts home?" Suddenly, a long, low moan echoed from the end of the corridor. A figure draped in a white sheet drifted out from behind a pillar. It waved its arms and wailed, "Woo! Go away!" Another one popped up from an old treasure chest, its sheet covered in dust, and rattled a pair of rusty chains. Clang, 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 clang. "We are the spooky ghosts of this castle. Tremble in fear." A third, very small ghost tried to peek out from behind a suit of armor, but it was so tiny its sheet kept slipping over its eyes. It wobbled and bumped into the armor, which clattered loudly to the floor. They were trying so hard to be terrifying, making their voices deep and wobbly and floating in what they hoped was a menacing way. Lily watched their performance, her head tilted to one side. She looked at the big ghost moaning, the medium ghost rattling its chains, and the little ghost tangled in its own sheet. A giggle escaped her lips, then another. Soon she was laughing so hard she had to hold her stomach. "You're not scary," she chirped, her laughter echoing much more cheerfully than their moans. "You're hilarious." The ghosts stopped their spooky act, looking utterly confused. They floated in place, their wails trailing off into silence. Frightening people was their job, their whole purpose. No one had ever laughed at them before. Princess Lily, seeing their bewilderment, zipped through the air and gently tugged on the chain the ghost was rattling. "My turn," she said, and started swinging it like a jump rope. She then flew over to the ghost hiding behind the pillar. "Boo!" she whispered, popping up on the other side. The ghost jumped, letting out a surprised little eek, before realizing it was supposed to be the one doing the scaring. Lily giggled again and started a game of hide-and-seek among the castle's many columns and tapestries.